Marvel, I mean, I haven't seen much Marvel stuff since 2020, but I will say, has it ever been more over than this? They cast one actor as a million dudes. They were like, check it out. You know how we used to have a new villain in every movie? Now we're going to have the same villain in every movie. And then the movies weren't that good, and then the actor got convicted of domestic abuse. Ooh. I'm not saying they should have seen it coming. I don't think there's any way they could have seen it coming, but it's just like you got to hit him with an oof on that one. You got to hit him with a Gen Z passive-aggressive thumbs up. But it could be worse, though. It could be Aquaman. And the fucking Mages of the Mystic. What's the new one called? I'm sorry. Could be Aquafina. I've got nothing against Aquafina, because I've only seen her in like 2 movies. But I do picture her face every time I say, I don't know about all of that. Just something about her. Quiz Lady was fun. I will not. I heard it was pretty good. I will never see it. It's not going to happen. I hate bottled water in general. It is crazy. I blame my generation for bottled water, by the way. We didn't invent it, but I think we were like big consumers. Every generation unleashes some evil or like, you know, allows some evil to thrive. Gen Z, you'll get there too. You're probably already there, but you just don't realize. It's probably TikTok if I had to guess. In like 10 years, if you're like 19 right now, you'll be like, remember when we used to like watch so much TikTok and make TikToks? Like that was, somebody should have stepped in and stopped us from doing that. I don't know, maybe not. If you're like 50 and you're making TikToks, I mean, I was making them when I was 32. I do want to say, in my own defense, 2020 was a wild year for everybody. Went through a lot in 2020. Also, we were getting ready to have our first kid, so it was like, you know, I don't know about all of that. Cigarettes are back. Let's freaking go! Editor's note, you should never smoke cigarettes. Also, I don't smoke cigarettes. But I want to fit in. Let's freaking go! They are cool, though. The thing is that they're not. But, like, there's... I don't think I'm bursting anybody's bubble. They kind of are. I don't think that... Well, if you're comparing them to vapes, yes, they're cooler than vapes because they taste bad. So that... all things that taste bad are cooler than things that taste good. That's just a given. I don't think they look swag at all. My most millennial trait is I am anti-cigarettes. I know people have been canceled for less in the modern era. Oh, please. I'm not putting on airs! All that anti-smoking propaganda worked on me, where they were like, don't smoke, it's bad for you, you'll die, and also you'll spend a lot of money on something that doesn't really matter. It worked on me. I bought into the propaganda, man. It's not as expensive as weed. Yeah, well, I'm not, like, for legal reasons, if you live in the United States of America, I can't say that you should smoke weed instead, because I'd like to come to your country at some point. But wait, it doesn't make any fucking sense, bro. It's legal in, like, 22 states or something? FBI should just be murking fools. I mean, they shouldn't be, but they could be. I guess if they had, I guess if it was a slow day at the FBI, they'd be like, okay, boss, we don't have anything to do today. Okay, just fucking go to California, go to Colorado and arrest everybody. Can't, like, because it's federally illegal, right? I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying if they want us to respect laws. They could. That's crazy. That doesn't make any damn sense. Anyway, sure, maybe weed is more expensive than cigarettes. I believe that that's probably true with no data to back it up. I don't know. It's too easy. Item room. But weed does something. The cigarettes don't do anything except make your jacket stink. Weed does cost too much. I need to see, like, you know that graph of inflation? Where it's like, you know, the price of food since the year 2000 has gone up like 70%, but the price of flat screen TVs has gone down like 3,000%. So if you don't think about it hard at all, it's kind of like it comes out in the wash as long as you're buying as many flat screens as groceries. They need to put weed on that because I feel like my friends' big brothers, when I was in like middle school, they were like, it's $10 a gram. And then when I was in high school, it was $10 a gram. And then when I was in college, it was $10 a gram. And then I haven't really interfaced with it since. But like, I kind of thought it was like the weed standard. I thought it was like, you know, 1 Bitcoin always equals 1 Bitcoin. 1 gram always equals $10. It still is. That's crazy. That's pretty standard. That's wild. And it's no matter where you live. I live in England and it's 10 pounds. Holy cow. $6.50 in New Zealand. You're really, they got you busting out quarters. They got you paying with, you're giving them a $10 bill. They're giving you 3 singles and 2 quarters back. That's crazy, man. To be fair, you don't just buy 1 gram. Yeah, but that's because, like, you guys are smoking more weed than has ever been smoked in the history of Earth. And I don't mean that in an offensive way. I'm calling it like I see it. Like, worldwide weed consumption must be up like 500% in the last 10 years. And that's crazy because demand has gone through the fucking roof. And the price apparently is still holding steady. DL Guiga, make it make sense. Doesn't this violate the FAMA and French 5-factor model? I'm just talking shit, basically. Here we go. Sorry, I forgot you're on vacation. I buy 28 grams at a time? The fuck are you making, like a cake? 28 grams at a time? That's normal? I have to be honest with you. I think that's probably 5x my lifetime cannabis consumption. The other weed constant, and you guys don't want to hear it, is that in 2008, a gram could smoke out your entire house. And it didn't matter if you lived alone or you had 7 roommates. A gram was exactly as much as you needed. And preferably it was in an old Ziploc bag. And it just worked. That's kind of still true. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I don't know that much about weed these days. And I mean, like, at this point, again, it would be good for my bottom line to lie and tell you that I smoke weed all the time. People would probably be dropping tons of gift subs. They'd be like, hell yeah, brother, me too. Sorry, I have to be honest. That being said, I love that tweet that's like, What do you mean you gotta smoke before we go? We're just going to the grocery store, brother. Are you okay? Do you want to talk? That's a good Zaza post. The only way I interface with it these days is like that lady who makes the TikToks of insane smoking contraptions always gets like tweeted into my feed, and then people are like, whatever happened to just smoking weed? She's always got like some kind of fucking circus contraption. Then she like pulls on a ripcord, like zing, and she's sitting in her car and it like bubbles up and it goes blah, 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 blah. She's got the doohickey. Hey, Tech923, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. I knew it. Hell yeah, brother. She's smoking the shit that made the Oompas Loompa. Dr. House in the Wonkaverse be like, it's not Loompas. I don't know where I'm going. Some of those will hit for somebody. That's fine. +2. No. Why'd you quit? I never really started, I guess. In college, I would do it occasionally when it was there. And then the guy who always bought it moved out. And I was like, I guess that's the end of that then. There goes that dream den. Hey, Librarian, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you, thank you. I don't think that Librarian gift subbed to the lupus joke. I think that this is the slash marker for NL discusses blanking on stream. And then like all the comments will be like, is this real? No, it was the lupus joke. Oh, okay. All right. Well, like I said, I knew it would work on some people. It's so funny. Humor's different for everybody. Can I tell you something? This is not fair at all. But again, I'm just being honest. I really respect British comedians who are actually funny, because I think having a British accent is like a huge barrier to being a stand-up comedian. Not because people can't understand you. People can understand you very well. But anytime I watch British stand-up, I'm like, you think you're so fucking clever, don't you? Yeah. Good. Oh, that's quite precious. What a precious little bit of wordplay. Yeah. You got a really high opinion of yourself, don't you? If they had like a normal, sorry, if they had like an American accent, I would be like, hell yeah, brother, that was really funny. With a British accent, I'm like, oh, you think you're better than me? Just because you made a joke, you think you're better than me? It's like my theory that you can only be a funny stand-up comedian if you're not in good shape. Or at least not in impressively good shape. I think if you got on stage and you had a very insanely well-defined jawline and the Buzz Lightyear chin and a six-pack, people would be like, get this motherfucker off the stage. He is not one of us. This is Matt Rife content. I know what I said, and I stand by it. Now, have I seen the Matt Rife special? No. I watch almost every special that comes out on Netflix that's not British. And so I did what I always do. I hovered my mouse over it. This is before the Matt Rife controversy. I had no idea who this person was. And I don't even remember what the joke was that was the preview. But he told the joke, and I just went, nah, I don't think this one's for me. Now, I'm not saying drag his ass. That's for the social media wolves to decide, okay? But in an A/B blind test, without knowing who the individual was, I watched the preview and said, this isn't going to be a good use of my time. I did see the Stavros special. I thought it was funny, in spite of the fact that he dragged the good people of YVR Airport. That was also the first special of his I've ever seen. I didn't see the YouTube special everyone was talking about, because I don't go to YouTube. Unless I'm uploading videos there. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good use of my time. You should listen to his podcast, Come Town. I just told you I don't smoke weed. I will not be listening to Come Town. I will not be doing the required reading and getting... Wait, so after you watch 145 episodes of it, the in-jokes really start to pop? Listen, brother, I'm already making that stuff. You think I could stomach consuming it as well? There's only so much time in the day. Come Town is over, though. Not when I'm in town. I'm making that shit all the time. I literally don't know how to stop. It never stops, right? You just do it forever until you die? They ever done a study on that? How long after you die do your balls keep producing cum? People are like, I fucking love science. Then I ask a scientific ass question, and they're like, I fucking hate science. What are you talking about? You hypocrite? I love science, but only when it's not yucky. Brother, all of science is yucky. That's a good question. Thank you. I don't know how we could do an ethical study on it, but someone smarter than me can figure it out. I don't know how we do anything, to be honest with you. I don't know how electricity works. They figured it out like 200 years ago. Why are you okay with watching Twitch but not okay with watching YouTube? It's an interesting question. I don't think it's a mean-spirited question. I think it's a curious one because there's something to tease apart there. It's the spirit of curiosity. It's two things that look the same and then figuring out what's actually the meaningful difference between them that leads to you treating them differently. I would say it feels like Twitch to me, going to Twitch is like, you have to recognize, I do not sit down and go, I'm going to watch this stream. Or I'm going to sit down and watch this video. It's always just something that happens to be on while I'm doing something else. And it's either like a distraction or like a little bit of entertainment, right? YouTube for me is cringe in that sense. Because like I'm actively seeking out the optimum content that I want to ignore while I'm making YouTube thumbnails or whatever. Whereas on Twitch, it's just like, oh, one of my friends is live, or like someone that I enjoy watching is live. So it's kind of like, I'm not going into it with the expectation that the content is actually good. I'm not like, oh, this is what I want to watch. I'm like, this is on. I think the way I would think about it is like, if you were, let's say you had to do a bunch of paperwork every night. Let's say you had like 60 to 90 minutes of paperwork every night. You might be different than me. And you might say like, oh, I'm going to put on something on Netflix that I enjoy. And then like, after your work is done, you'll be like, oh, I don't remember anything about what I just saw. Or you might say, let's just see what's on TV, and I'll have that on in the background while I sign these forms. That's more what it's like for me. And then honestly, when I get time to sit down and actively watch something and focus on it, I would just rather watch a movie. I'm not trying to pit two bad bitches against one another, but I would rather like focus on an encapsulated piece of media that is like an hour and a half to 3 hours long, and I get like the whole experience after having gone through that, than be like, okay, I'm gonna watch 4 episodes of like a television program that might get canceled after 2 extra seasons, or like, oh, the first 6 seasons are good, but the remaining 11 seasons are like, they really jumped the shark, but there's a couple of episodes in there that are like still solid. Now, I'm not flexing being busy. It's actually like, it's taken me a long time to admit it. It's a bad habit. Part of the reason I'm busy is a refusal to delegate anything, because I'm like cheap. Or a refusal to delegate much, at least. It's also like, you know, I don't know. I've resisted, and we're getting into this. I mean, this is why it's a good question to begin with. I've resisted the idea of like turning YouTube as a job into YouTube as a business. And I know that it sounds like they're the same, but like, I think of me like a plumber, but I like really like doing the plumbing. People would say, it's stupid, man. In plumber years, I'm like 62 years old. Why are you still doing the pipes yourself? Why are you still doing the purchasing? Why are you still getting the catalog out and doing that stuff, when instead you could hire like 7 people that could do all the purchasing for you, and they could do all like the easy jobs, and then you could just be more like, you could handle the books and be like the plumber's consultant, but it's because I don't want to be the guy who handles the books. I want to be the guy who handles the pipes. That's why I got into the plumbing business in the first place. So I would rather spend my time, it feels more valuable for me on a fulfillment level to spend my time making the videos and getting my hands in the dough and, you know, kneading it and letting it rest in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, and then I put it in the oven instead of like going on a golf trip with the CEO of Bimbo International to figure out how to get the loaves in more stores worldwide. So if anything, it's actually a personal fault that I'm busy, when I could probably structure my life in such a way to be a little bit less busy and then have more time to watch television. But I'm not there right now. I'm not ready for that yet. So you see yourself as a craftsman? Unfortunately, yes. Despite the craft being the most hilarious possible medium. Yes, the most trash, valueless possible art you can create. Yes, I am a proud craftsman. And I am it's a doctor, I am Pagliacci type thing, and I love that for me. I embrace that. It's the comedy that makes life worth crying about, but also worth laughing about. It's that give and take, that push and pull, that creates the tension which moves the world. I don't want that. Pagliacci could never. Me watching Bozo the Clown. I don't think I want any of that either. When you're not shilling, you're like the Rothko of streaming. Isn't Rothko the guy who said the robots are going to kill us all? That's Roko. Oh, sorry. I thought that was an Arcade Fire song. Oh, he's a painter. That explains why I don't know him. Yeah, although, to be honest with you, I would much rather see Rothko's Basilisk. You know what's great about this? The engineers honestly need to be taken down a peg. After all that discussion about, what this job means to me and the fires of my loins, what makes me take pride in this despite it being a hilarious thing to take pride in, some people in chat were like, damn, that's interesting. I'm not saying deep, but that's interesting. And some people in chat are like, have you ever considered using Handbrake to speed up your workflow a little bit? Engineers, be gone. You got the salaries, you got the benefits, you got the respect from society. Stay out of this one. Take a humanities class, okay? Not every statement is an invitation to optimize. Some of it is just meant to be observed. And if you're a cop, you got to tell me. But if you're a cop, perhaps report it upon. Save this one for I was going to say the people who read books. And you're going to say, that's not fair. I've read 50 books this year. And I'm going to say, no. Not fantasy novels. I'm sorry. It had to be. He will divide us. He will divide us. We love America. They count. They do count in a way. In a different way. They're definitely books. They're not books. I'm not saying they can't teach you anything. In what way do they not count? I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Because I rely on STEM majors for my income. So I should be nice. I walked into that one literally and figuratively. How much do you read? Fucking like none, bro. Too busy watching Nat Faxon movies 22 minutes at a time on Netflix. Literary fiction, very valuable for developing empathy. You can definitely tell when someone's read a lot of Game of Thrones books because they're usually like very empathetic towards George R.R. Martin. They're usually not saying stuff like, wow, I really hope this blank dude finishes the books before he has a heart attack and dies. They seem very empathetic. I'm not hating on readers. I'm just hating on mean people. If you're a nice person who reads and you're like, that's not fair, I'm not talking about you. We're on the same team, okay? I'm on the team of the nice people. Who do you think was a better Eminem villain? Donald Trump or Kim Mathers? Kim for sure. I mean, the arcs were better during the Kim era for sure. Is Kim by a mile? All right, I'm sorry I asked. Sorry. I thought about it because on the Power Zone ride today, they played something by Eminem that I hadn't heard in a while. It was Till I Collapse, Eminem featuring Nate Dogg. Must have come out in like 2008, 2009. And he dropped a Kim Mathers line, and the instructor just looked at the camera like I felt like I read so much into his face. Like his face was like, I wanted to play this song because it goes hard, but I'm sorry about all this Kim Mathers stuff. And I was like, damn, this guy was still talking about Kim Mathers, like, into the Obama administration, huh? He really held a grudge. It's not like Mathers even, like, rhymes that much. Like, if her name was, like, Kim Woo, I would get it. That rhymes with, like, a third of the words in the English language. But he's finding reasons to insult Kim Mathers in every song. Till I Collapse is from 02. It had like heavy 08 energy because it was an Eminem song that's not very good. Usually when there's an Eminem song from like the early 2000s or the late 90s, you're like, oh, this must be from his early career because the song is good. And then when the songs are bad, you're like, this must be a later one. Sorry. Your music takes are so bad. Listen. No, they're not. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. They're not. Some of them are a little, out there. This isn't one of them, though. Oh, man. Till I Collapse is one of his last good ones, though. Yeah. Yeah. When compared to what came later. For sure. It is by the way, it's a different energy. It's a certified workout song. You catch my ass like nearly weeping when Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy comes on. I don't even like the song that much. When it comes on 50 minutes into a Peloton ride after I've been listening to fucking Demi Lovato songs for 90 minutes straight, I'm like, oh my God, finally. Something from my childhood. The workouts hit differently. But you wouldn't catch me putting that on in the car, I'll tell you that much. I'm not a Demi Lovato hater. I just don't like her music or their music. I have nothing against them as an individual because I don't know anything about them as an individual. All I know about them is their work as a singer. And obviously they're very popular, which is great because they don't need my support. Because if they did, they'd be in a lot of trouble right now. They're allergic to serving? I don't even really know what Demi Lovato looks like. So how could I be a hater? Like, I think to be a hater, you've got to be, like, kind of obsessed with somebody. I'm just like a Demi Lovato, like, knower and don't really enjoy her that much. Indifferent-er? No, not indifferent. Like, when the song comes on, I'm like, I wish this song was by a different artist. That's right, yes, I'm a semi-Lovato hater. I'm not a full Lovato hater. I wish her the best. There's artists I wish the worst of. I'm trying to think of dead ones that I can insult. Phil Spector, didn't he kill somebody? I wish him the worst. R. Kelly, yes, R. Kelly, I wish him the worst. Eminem? No, I wish him the best. I got nothing against Eminem. I just wish that Peloton would stop playing his songs that came out like past the year 1999. Sorry, maybe 2001. 2001. What about Just Lose It? No, I don't want to hear Just Lose It, okay? It's just music, though. It's no big deal. Just Lose It is very funny. I don't know how I feel about when Eminem goes gremlin mode. When he goes like, ah, and his songs, like, because he has like half of the songs from Eminem's early career are like, he's doing a goofy voice. And then half of the songs are like, this is about a serious issue. And then the next song is like, the way she move it, it make my booty go, da doing, doing, doing. And this, like, he's rapping in the Triumph, the insult comic dog voice over and over. And I'm like, what are we doing here, man? This is crazy. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. fucking Goofy. Sorry, he doesn't say booty, does he? He says, the way she move it, it make my pee-pee go, da doing, doing, doing. Like, that's just... I mean, forgive me for saying it, I don't usually use words like this. That's just sophomoric. Say that to his face? I wouldn't. Because why would I, honestly, like, that doesn't make me a hypocrite to not say that to Eminem's face. If you don't like my art and you see me in public, don't say fucking shit to me, bro. Don't come over to me and ruin my day by being like, hey, I recognize you and I just want you to know I don't like the shit that you make. I'm like, I don't know who you are, brother. You just being mean for no reason. If I saw Eminem in public, I would not even say hi to Eminem and be like, can I get a picture? I would, like, take a picture of him when he was not looking, and then I would send it to Kate, and I would be like, check it out, Eminem's at the grocery store. And she would probably be like, who is that? And I would be like, oh, don't worry about it. That's creepy. Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna go talk to him. But I'm not a real Eminem fan. I'm not gonna waste his time lying to his face. Big fan. Can I get a photo? I'm not gonna lie to the guy. That's just degenerate behavior. I'll just snap a little creep shot. Not like an upskirt, just like a photo where he doesn't know he's being photographed. It's just like a creep shot is a candid. It's two different things. And then I would be like, check it out. Bet you never thought you'd see Eminem at the Save-On Foods. Probably trying to cash in on Daryl's score and win event. It doesn't mess me up. It's actually funny to think about that. I bet I've taken a photo with a hater. I bet I've probably taken, if I had to guess, I've probably taken 75 photos on the street with people who have recognized me over the years. Statistically speaking, at least one person was like, maybe I used to watch his content like 8 years ago, and then I got annoyed by him talking about something and I never watched him again. But if I saw, like, hey, I'm not just gonna let a celebrity walk by. That will be me. And listen, I'll be happy to take the photo. But lie to me. Don't be like, hey, I used to watch your stuff. Just say like, hey, I'm a big fan. Literally tell me a lie. It's nicer than telling me the truth. Because you're already taking time out of my day. The least you could do is not like fuck with my head. And be like, yeah, I used to watch you back in the day, but then you fell off. If you're going to say that, just fucking let me run my errands, bro. I got enough shit going on upstairs. I don't need you mucking about in the attic. I walked into the fly shot. The streak! The streak! That actually hurt. I didn't think we were gonna die. Slash marker. We'll call that Isaac.